When my favorite poet said that spoken word was the art of getting to know God for a living, what I heard was art will reveal the reality of God. Spoken word, psalms of today, songs of yesterday, poised pain in prose, scripted tablets to Facebook pages, pages of prayer-pasted blogs, pontificated performed pieces of God's agenda. I never believed that God had a gender. I think that God is art, purest form of self-expression, love in love with the idea of, thus making self-creation, the great I am, finished into a complete sentence structure to conjure images. I don't think that God is a poet. I think that God is poetry. Evolution in haiku. Immaculate conception conjugated by consonants and vowels, the all-knowing, all-spark of alliteration transformed, transcending formations. Leads me to think that my trans fam be trying to get closer to God, the way we all are. Like, ain't we all made in the image of God? Ain't poetry all about imagery? I mean, who is anyone to say that the person they see in the mirror isn't the poem they were meant to be? But if God's got a gender, but then God must have a race. Now, I can race to conclude God is black and looks like me, but if God looks like me, how can God look like you? I told a white woman I saw God in her. She said she saw the same God in me. I don't think that God is a painter. I think that God is paint. Graffiti portraits of divinity. A mixed media mastermind mastering itself as a craft, crafting neon, neo-pastel personalities. A sketch of the future. Visions of a sketchy past, fingers, paint brushing problems on blank paper so we can draw our own conclusions. But listening to our own voices, we sing out segregation, broken down in the beginning to a sample or a soundbite, remixed into religion, a pale skin and beard, a dreadlocked rock star prophet, Allah in auto-tune, Christ chopped and screwed by man. But God ain't no singer. No, God is a song written by dance and vice versa, verse and chorus, choreographed chords by pliés, life-saving cliches from step-fall change whose measures resemble meteors, whose silent meditations sound like melodies, who started time with a tick-tock like metronomes, popped in the pulse, locked us into life, put the world on its axis from a clockwise backspin. God is a four-part harmony heard from four corners of the earth, an R&B run over a rock ballad solo with a guitar made of stars who simultaneously boom bap the Big Bang Theory. Our creator, whose art is heaven, hallowed be thy frame, thy kingdom sung, spun into Genesis. God is art, and we are its masterpiece. Welcome to the fourth annual. I'm not whole heathen, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Part heathen. Three-fifths heathen. Let's make it official. Welcome to the fourth annual Food for Thought Poetry Slam. Make some noise. I'm going to be telling you about the people who have made this possible all throughout the night. But thank you for being here, right? You made this possible. I appreciate you. Thank you, first and foremost, all right? 4 years strong, y'all. We've been doing this for 4 years strong. You know what I mean? It don't get easier. I'm going to tell you that right now. It don't get any fucking easier. It's just as hard as it was the first year and the second year. Year 5, maybe, it'll be simpler. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. All right, y'all. Any newcomers to Poetry Slam? Any first timers? Make some noise. I can't see you. Okay. Few first timers. All right. I'm gonna tell you about the experience. All right. A Poetry Slam is a spoken word competition. All right. Our poets are 14 absolutely brilliant, prolific poets. They're gonna come up here. They're gonna pour out their heart and their soul, and then our judges say, "Hey, judges." Hey, judges. Our 5 amazing judges are gonna give it a score. All right. Anywhere between a 0.0, all right, a zero, all right, anywhere between a 0.0 and a 10.0, all right, 0 being the worst thing you ever heard, ever, all right, like you want to fight the poem. You may not fight the poet, but you gonna beat the shit out of that poem, all right, that poem about to catch his hands outside of this goddamn museum, all right, that's a 0, all right, a 0. 10 is the best thing that you've ever heard in the history of poetry. Maya Angelou, what? This is So that's a 10, all right? And then anything in between, right? So you may hear like a 7.6, you may hear 8.9, you may hear 5.3, whatever, right? Oh man, that's blowing the scores already. They were just examples. Shit. They blew the examples. Oh man, good luck, judges. We got security. I'm lying. We don't have security. That is not in the budget yet. I told you it's a tough year. It was a tough year, okay? You know what I mean? But listen, I'm from Southside. I can fight. I got you. I'll walk you halfway through your car. I'll walk you halfway through your car. All right? You gotta get a little running start. Once I'm done, I'm done. All right? That's it. All right. Judges, listen, you got a pretty tough job ahead of you. We brought in some of the best from all across the country. But we ask that you stay consistent, stay fair, and stay true to yourself, right? Give the score. You're the one with the scoreboards in your hand. That's pretty much the same as a college degree, right? It's pretty, in America, they weigh about the same at this point, all right? So trust your instinct, trust your gut, all right? Listen to no one but the voice inside your own head. Say word? Word. All right. Audience, sway the fuck out these judges, okay? Sway the fuck out these judges. They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. We like lured them in with food. They didn't even know what a poem was until just now. You know what I'm saying? So sway the hell out of these judges, okay? If you hear a score that you are not particularly fond of, what might you do? Also, something that we like to do with the writers, that we hear a score that we think is too low, we shout out higher. Let me hear you say higher. Fantastic. All right, sway these judges just to stay strong, okay? All right, don't listen. I had to tell them something, right? So they would feel good about themselves, all right? You're important here, all right? Stay strong, don't listen to them, all right? Audience, listen, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you, all right? Okay, listen. This is an interactive experience. We're going to have a really good time tonight. Say word? Fantastic. All right, so I don't know what kind of poetry slams or poetry events you've been to, but we encourage reactions here. Say word? So I'm always going to be checking in with you. I'm always going to ask if we're on the same page before we move forward. Say word? That's me checking in. All right? So also, if you hear some things tonight that stirs your soul a little bit, you know what I mean? Some lines that really resonate with you. There's some ways that we encourage you to react, okay? So, classic poetry snaps. Let me see your poetry snaps. Let me hear them. Okay, very good. We all saw Love Jones. Fantastic. Good. Even though I hate that goddamn movie. I hate it. He showed up at her house. He showed up at her house unannounced. You know what I mean? He got her address off the check. You know what I'm saying? That's stalker shit. You know what I'm saying? It was Love Jones then. If it was now, it would be you. You know what I'm saying? It's stalker shit. You see what I'm saying? It's not sexy. He doesn't get a pass because he's Lorenz Tate. You know what I'm saying? All 5, 6 of him is getting arrested. That's all I'm saying. My bad. Love for the short kings. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know the short joke was going to divide the room. All right. Outside of those poetry snaps, there's some other ways you can react. You can let me hear You can You can You can All right, and then, anything else you would do in a Black Baptist church. You can wave your hands, you can stomp your feet, you know what I'm saying? You can run around the sanctuary if you want to. But let me tell you something right now. If you fall out, that's between you and your God. We're not picking you up. I'm not doing it. All right, and we ain't praise at your own risk. That's what I'm saying. Praise at your own risk. And we ain't got none of them little sheets to throw over you. Nothing. We ain't got none of them little blankets to be thrown over you. All right? Okay. With all that information being said, are we ready to start a poetry slam? Almost. We are almost ready. We are almost ready. Before we can officially start a poetry slam, we have to have what's called a sacrificial poet or a calibration poet, for people who think that's a little too graphic, all right? You know what I mean? Not canceling me this year, all right? Calibration poet. All right, so I don't get to introduce all the poets. I got to say I'm biased, but I do get to introduce this one. He is a legend. He is an absolute legend. Hailing out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He was a poet laureate for Charlotte, North Carolina. I need you to show a whole lot of love for my friend and yours. None other than the one, the only, the Jay Ward. All right, be critical. He's going to set the bar.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was Amen. And Amen begat paradise. Paradise begat a flaming sword, begat eviction, begat you don't belong here, begat redlining, begat you don't belong here either, begat give us this land back, begat urban renewal, begat my neighbor's got a deal on a house I can't afford anymore. Brook Hill Village is one of the last areas of affordable housing left in Charlotte. Its tenants are barely holding on to a neighborhood South Enders are desperately seeking to revitalize. Picture a house, single story, 3 adults, 2 children, 700 square feet, shotgun style. Shotgun style means if you open the front door and the back door, a bullet would go right through the house without touching anything. Except here, the bullet is a minimum wage paycheck. The bullet says to the shotgun, they laid off and I'm already fired. The shotgun says to the banker, yeah, that's the money shot. The banker says to the investor, don't fail me now, I got ripped, baby. The investor says to city council, don't fail me now, I got ripped, baby. The baby says, wow, I'm a baby. But here's the point. The baby plays with blocks too. They all play with blocks. The gentrified block, the only block that can't milli rock. Block ain't hot, block is got. Block don't want you to live here because it decreases the value, but they want you to shop here to increase the value. The block don't want you, but it wants you. Brooklyn, a neighborhood in Charlotte, was once a branch of America's Black Wall Street. Black doctors, lawyers, business owners, until the city wanted the land back. 1,500 buildings and homes torn down, 1,000 families displaced, gone. One of the only buildings remaining today is Brooklyn Grace Church, amen. The block is guarded like a flaming sword, like a word from a banker. Says things like, happy are the poor, but really it's happy are the banks, amen, for they shall inherit the land. If it's happy are the poor, when does the house give way to the Starbucks? When does the child give way to the pipeline? When does your grandma have to move clear across town just to make way for the new Kroger? You know, I took a walk through the Arts District. I mean, this was after they raised the rent, so artists had to find a new place to live, and they hired artists to come and paint the buildings to make it look like artists still live there. Anyway, I'm sitting at this bar and they're playing underground hip hop music and there's basketball players painted on the wall. And I walk past the karaoke party where college kids are singing the words to Kanye's Gold Digger, except they only know the words to the chorus. She ain't messing with no broke Nick. You know what I realized? Some folk love to be surrounded by Black and brown culture, but not necessarily by Black or brown people. And the church says, amen. But here's the point. Picture your city in a time lapse. Hole in the wall barbecue spot, jazz joint, barbershop, your cousin's house. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Gone. Like an amen. Like a neighborhood of ghosts. But here's the point. What if your neighborhood says to the bullet, no? And the bullet says to the shotgun, no. And the shotgun says to the banker, to the investor, to the city council, this is my block. We will not allow another Noda or Brooklyn or Billowville or Paradise. The word says, ain't you the paradise? Ain't you been resurrected before? Ain't this Black and brown gonna last forever, forever, ever, forever, ever? Yes. And ain't this poem just a prayer? In the beginning was the word, and the word was. Amen.
Jay Ward, y'all. All right, that was K-Ward, y'all.
Spell 10-1-0. That's how you spell 10.
Same song, judges, all right? Be watching your ears and be critical, all right? All right. That's the longest we're going to give you to do this, all right? Take a break, take a breath. We got it. All right, you all right over there? Okay, so I got to go from low to high. I don't even know what don't cheat off nobody else. Listen here. Wait a minute. I didn't expect it to be this. I don't know. What is that? That is. This is why I told y'all. Listen. Oh man. Here we go. Wow. Here we go, y'all. From low to high, y'all, we got an 8.6. Then we got a 9.4. A 9.7. A 9.8. And our first 10 of the night.
Like a helicopter.
Just know, judges, I only got prize money for 3 people. Okay. Listen. Okay. After that amazing performance, are we ready to start a poetry slam? All the rounds are random. I'm literally pulling names out of the hat. I don't know the order. My poets don't know the order. So here we go. Y'all show some love for Rika Speed.
I was locked 23 different ones. Now I bought like 23 different ones. Sniper gang, I'm always playing manhunt. I know I'ma kill the food if it don't wet. Got the fire in my eyes when I change though.
Make sure you're following at
on my side, better than my man.
Don't get a restraining order, get a gun. That's the caption to a video of a woman who shot her stalker. After changing her number, after moving to another city, after filing multiple restraining orders. And it feels so empowering in a powerless situation to not leave yourself at the mercy of the merciless. I get it. These men are rabid, hungry for affection, flesh hellhounds with a taste for what they can't have, and that piece of paper just makes their mouth water more. Be the fence they hop, the leash they break, if it's the only thing keeping women off their plate, and sometimes the only way to stop that dog from biting is to put it down. In this dog-eat-dog world, it's kill or be killed, and we women grow tired of being prey. Fear declining a man's invitation will be our final sentence. Tired of being a statistic, 1 in 3 who experience violence from an intimate partner. A protective order ain't so protective when a violator doesn't face consequences. So, when the legal system fucks you over, you might as well have your gun cocked. The woman in the video said she chose herself and her freedom by shooting her stalker. I get it. But what if your stalker isn't just in your bushes, but in your mirror? I don't have to meet my bipolar in a bar. I didn't swipe right on my man. My mind is the dark alley, and the person most likely to kill me is me. I get it. The world is crazy. I better strap up, but I can't because I'm crazy. They say stay strapped and I get confused. All I see are straight jackets and bedside restraints. I want to protect myself, but what if it has to be from myself? When my mind is fully loaded, why add more bullets? So if the taser under the bed will do the trick, cling onto my pepper spray like I cling onto my sanity, because I always have to choose between a tender date going volatile or a spiral turning suicidal, and that's scary to have to choose between not having a choice, feeling so powerless in what should be an empowering situation, being left at the mercy of how merciless your own mind is, and you don't get it. Being nailed to the cross of your intersectionality, to be a woman and have a mental disorder is having to fight every battle, even the ones with yourself, because when a man wants to fill me up, I want to empty the clip, but I can't have trigger fingers because I'm always triggered. They say, buy a gun for protection, but what if the suicide hotline puts me on hold again?
All right, y'all. That was a good piece, y'all. All right, judges. Got a tough job ahead of you. While they're figuring it out, behind me is my favorite DJ, the pettiest DJ at RVA. Y'all show some love for DJ Kinfolk. All right. Okay, yeah. It's sweating up here. Sweating. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's gonna be okay. All right, y'all. From low to high, y'all, we have an 8.9. Then we have another 8.9. We have a third 8.9. A 9.3 and a 9.9. Show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet.
I should have told you I'm on one.
I'm gonna have that poet going and come back. You better be your next poet. Somebody say yeah. Y'all ready for your next poet? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Y'all show a whole lot of love for Chev. Y'all clap Chev all the way up to the stage, y'all. Get Chev all the way up here. Y'all clap Chev up to the stage, y'all. Y'all looking up for Chev.
Ice cream.
Dr. King once said that if it ever falls your lot in life to be a street sweeper, you go forth and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Like Beethoven composed music and Shakespeare wrote poetry, baby. You go be the best at whatever you are. You learn to take pride in your work. Because I learned depression come when there ain't no pride left to take. You see, 6 years ago, it fell my lot to be a dropout. 5 years ago, it fell my lot to be homeless. I felt a lot until it felt my lot to be a poet. I started to slam for food. Sometimes in packed venues. Most times in packed train cars. All times in ugly mirrors, just trying to see myself be good at something. I fell in love with my train car stage. Some days I wanted to stand on the track and give it a kiss. I performed in only the most gentrified areas to avoid anyone I knew. Places where everybody's favorite poem did something about black kids dying, and I painted strange fruit, hoping they would feed the starving artists. I turned my notebook pages back into the trees we hung from, hoping that the fire would keep me warm at night. A white woman hands me $1. She turns to her daughter and tells her I'm the most talented bum she's ever seen.
Better than every hoodlum rapper on this train yesterday, and I'm wondering how pretty I must have made both of our deaths sound. I'm wondering if plucking bodies from pavement to make my meals make me a street sweeper or some kind of vulture with my thoughts. Keep getting drowned out by the growl in my gut saying get through the poem. That night, two guys put a knife on me in the subway. They left my pockets as empty as my stomach. They took my pride, my cell phone, and some white woman's dollar. The police asked me if I'm on the way home at the time of the robbery, and I don't know how to tell them that this was a home invasion. And I'm so broke, I'm broken into, and ain't no broom big enough to pick up the pieces. Dr. King say, you gotta sweep streets like an artist, but no one says anything when an artist gotta lay in them, when ain't no work to take pride in. When Young That Suicide Note is just another poem about a black kid dying, so you write, and you write, and you write, because you know that if your pen ever leaves the page, your body might leave the world, and sometimes sweeping streets feels a lot like cleaning caskets. The first draft of this poem, it sounded like a train car kiss. Sounded like a really good reason not to be here. And the second draft is the reason why I get to be here. The third draft is written by my mother. It's every time she smiled at me and told me I was good enough. The fourth draft, I'm going to write to my father when we finally get good enough at talking to each other. The fifth one ain't gonna be written no damn where. It's gonna be etched in stone right next to a block that tells you I was damn good at something. I was not Shakespeare, I was the poetry. I was not Michelangelo, but I did learn to become music. I never became Beethoven. But if you wrote a song in the key of life, I know for a fact I could write you every word you needed for it. I learned that even on my weekdays, the weekends, I learned that I am the best at whatever I am, especially on the days when all that is still alive. That was Chef, y'all. That was Chef. Y'all feeling good? Say word. Fantastic. All through the night, I want to be shouting out our sponsors and partners and people who have helped make this happen. I want to first shout out. We were blessed to receive a grant from CultureWorks. Y'all clap it up. Clap it up for CultureWorks. The 2024 CultureWorks Annual Grant Program is made possible this year through the generosity of the Altria Group, the National Endowment for the Arts, the Community Foundation for a Greater Richmond, together with local supporters of arts and culture. Can we clap it up for CultureWorks one more time, please? We appreciate you. Judges, what say you about this poem? You're right. Here we go. Okay, I see what kind of night it's gonna be. Here we go. From low to high, y'all, we got an 8.2. We got an 8.3. We got an 8.7, a 9.2, and a 9.8. Show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. The score for Rika Speaks was 27.1. The score for Rika Speaks was a 27.1. Show some love for that. I'll have that total score when I come back for Chev. If you're ready for your next poet, somebody say word. Word. Y'all show some love for Brianna.
Coming live from the VIP, heard the nightlife, cross life with that nigga, home bedroom, straight, wanna see my nigga, the whole city got this, he got you, the other time I gotta hit the shout, he got it.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to need you to raise two fingers for me, just like this. I want you to place them firmly on the neck, just behind the ear. I want you to keep it there. Listen to the cadence of your heart as it tells the story. Maybe it's fluttering, like mine was the first time I laid eyes on my girlfriend. She was the first person I met when I moved to Orlando, and she had this way of just getting me out of the house, out of my closet, out of my shell, or maybe it's beating hard and steady like the heavy beats that shake the nightclub floor where my friends gather to celebrate my birthday. You see, the thing about the queer community is we stick together. Even though we're not connected by the same blood pulsing through our veins, we are still each other's lifeline. Now imagine your heartbeat quickening on the sweaty dance floor, your hand intertwined with the love of your life as the noise starts to make your ears ring. There's a woman at the bar screaming about someone taking shots in the beats. of the too loud music masks the sounds of screaming, and someone taking shots for your heartbeat ricochet faster than the rounds of a semi-automatic. Each pop of your veins against your fingertips like a tiny bullet. Each pop in your ear, another body on the floor, another hole in your lifeline. Yes, hello, officer, my girlfriend has been shot. I cannot feel her pulse. Yes, we are at pulse now. I won't run away. I won't leave her. Think about the queer communities we stick together. Without each other, so many of us would die alone. I will not let her die alone. And there are too many gay kids with bullet holes in them. Gay kids who, after years of being told their heartbeat was a mistake, raised 2 fingers to the trigger, placed the barrel firmly on the neck just behind the ear. Gay kids whose blood could be spilled but not donated. Gay kids who not reserved the right to bear a child in their arms. Gay kids whose lives could be ended by weapons legally acquired long before they could legally acquire a marriage certificate. But I heard they put a memorial up for us on Orange Avenue. 49 faces, a gallery of too many gay kids with bullet holes in them. Thousands gather to offer their prayers to the same God they believe already damned us, and they preach their promise to never forget. You always promise to never forget. But how many of you have let your fingertips drop from the place I had asked that they stay, arms heavy from carrying the weight of being the ones whose heartbeats can still tell your stories? But I get it. In a world full of so many gay kids with bullet holes in them, how could I possibly ask you to remember one more? Wow.
That was a Brianna, y'all. One more time for Brianna, please. Y'all feeling good? Say a word. Fantastic. While the judges are working that out, the score for our last poet was 26.2. A 26.2. Y'all clap it up for Chev. Clap for the poet. All right, I see. All right, judges, we ready? Here we go. From low to high, we have an 8.8. Then we have, stay strong, judges, you have 9.0. Another 9.0, a 9.1, and a 9.5. Show some love for the poet. Show some love for the poet. If at any point anybody feels triggered by any of these, heavy topics, as we, these poets are getting free up here, we have an on-site therapist. Say word. So shouts out to Rush Community Group. They're here to support anybody. It's just a little heavy. I was supposed to make that announcement at the beginning of the show. I apologize. We just kind of jumped right in, but I want to make sure everybody knows that now. Say word. Okay. So see Brittany Rush, her and her team are here. Rush Community Group is here to help you if you're having a moment. Say word. Fantastic. Are we ready for the next poet? Say word. All right, y'all. Y'all show some love for Jordan Bailey. Y'all shot Jordan Bailey all the way up to the finish, y'all. All the way up to the finish. Hold on.
Money don't make.
An ode to our white friends. Cause our white boy cool. I mean, our white boy got graffiti stained stanzas and b-boy bravado. His beatbox beat emancipation. He be an alibi or an ally, depending on what you name justice. And our white boy only uses his privilege purposefully and performatively. I mean, he can recite all the lyrics to Dreams and Nightmares. He can deconstruct Beyonce's Lemonade down to the sugar and seeds, and that's all for a seat at the table, because that's all white boy want, a seat. White boy don't want his chapter in history. White boy is fine with just being a footnote. White boy just wants to be in the room where it happens. And white boy has seen Hamilton. He understands the importance of a non-white cast. Like, white boy knows this shit ain't about color, it's about culture. And white boy just want his peace, his taste, his sip of the drinking gourd. White boy thinks he's earned that. I mean, white boy still got protest scars, remembers how the tear gas took hold of his throat like the dead name was trying to crawl back down his gullet, but white boy has learned to swallow black ghosts. You know, it's all a part of the process, the good with the bad, and white boy sees the good. I mean, he sees Dave Chappelle and LeBron and Drake, and he gets it. You know, it's the pain. It's the pain that makes us that good, makes us this holy. But something that's godly still needs governing. White boy wonders. Well, who's going to save you from yourselves? Well, who's going to police you since you don't want police to? And white boy's not scared, but he gets it, you know. I mean, it's real bullets bellowing out those bars. It's blood in them wading waters. And white boy wants to draw attention to it, but what can he do? He just one breakdancing body. He's not here to command the space. Just hold it. You know, that level of responsibility always comes with a coffin. And white boy is going to die old, like the white boys before him, like the ones that chased my grandmother into exhaustion, but white boy ain't come here for all them blues. Nah. White boy came here for the rhythm. White boy don't want to stay, nigga. He just want to play, nigga. Day-to-day, nigga. Masquerade, nigga. Collect black friends. Parade, niggas. White boy has earned his right to say, you know, everything not about race. I mean, I'm here for y'all. Been here for y'all. Don't even see y'all as a y'all or me as a white boy. Well, not like those white boys. I mean, I never burned no cross. Just enjoyed the bonfire. And look how all our skin glows between the flicker of embers.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'm so good, but I ain't no killer, baby. 28, I'm still a baby. You love me, straight like still a baby. You think about your boy, it was hard.
Join the bell, y'all. Join the bell. Y'all have to join the bell. Playing Jack, what's his name? Jack Harlow. Playing that right out there is wild. You start setting these rappers a little better, okay? So we closed the door after Eminem, all right? We're not taking any newcomers, all right? It was Eminem and that was it. We shut the door off. So I take it back. Eminem and Paul Wall. We're gonna keep Paul Wall. No, we're not keeping Paul? Damn, okay, my bad. Are we up? We keeping Paul, okay, all right. Glad we had this little black delegation real quick. All right, fantastic. All right, this is what happens at the secret black people meetings. Y'all trying to decide which white rappers are going to stay and which ones are going to go. Right? The score for our last poet was 27.1. Score for our last poet was 27.1. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Judges, all right, you're ready. Here we go. I'll say you about this poem from low to high. From low to high, we have an 8.9. Then we got a 9.0, a 9.3, a 9.4, and a 9.5. Show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet. We want to shout out one of our sponsors real quick. Y'all clap it up for Marijuana Justice. Marijuana Justice in the building. And look, y'all better listen. They one of the main reasons you can smoke in Virginia right now. All right, so listen, where the smoke is at? You know what I'm saying? Wait, it's okay. I just told you it was fine. Y'all look nervous as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
But I look like your PO or something. Like you can smoke a blunt. It's all you're fine. You can't do it in here. You can't do it in here. All right. But marijuana justice. Shouts out to marijuana justice. Y'all act like we shouting them out. Y'all act like I told you to testify or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I never even heard that. Scared asses. Goddamn. Just told you it was fine. Jesus Christ. You ready for your next post? Somebody say yeah. Yes. Y'all show some love for Esma. All the way down, y'all.
Hey, I look good on my mama, on my food. I look good, yeah, I look good. That's my swag. I look good, yeah, I look good. I look good. I look good.
That's what y'all got.
Here is my audition for the position of the sun. How is that? Was I bright enough? Would you like to meet me more or less golden? Should I try again? I'm sorry. I've never done this before. When you are the eldest daughter, you get the maternal role without auditioning. You learn to become before you are taught you could be anything. So I dropped my childhood for method acting. I was just a little girl when I started playing as my mother's heart. I wasn't that much older when I became my father's discipline. I had to clean up my act, iron out my hands here, creaseless and responsible, fold my tongue into nurture, caretaking comes second nature now. And I really resonate with the character. Who best to tell the plants when and where to be than someone whose love language is, I know it's best for you. The sun has never given birth to tomorrow, but it's the reason it's still breathing. It's always expected to just be there, and I never protest without permission. My siblings got audacity I was never allowed to have, and they don't get it. What it's like to feel like everything is growing eyes, to have to be perfect, or else you're left empty-handed, waiting for the kind of heartbreak anyone's disappointment will carry. I know I'm perfect for the position. I too can be blinding. I've been a lighthouse for everyone but myself before. I've been practicing my whole life. I'm just looking for someone to believe in me. My siblings don't see the global warming clawing at my eyes. They just gather around my melting. So bad I want them to see all the blistering blizzard I am, to grab water or a blanket or call for help, but I didn't teach them to love that way. Instead, I hid all the things that could bite in a corner of a galaxy. Call that protection or some radical form of I love you, but now my siblings don't need me anymore. Not like I need them, but the world still needs a sunrise. Just give me a chance. I can pray in firstborn. I'm fluent in broken home. I know all the dialects of blame. I could do this language in 3 different languages. This role just might save me. I just want to know what it's like to live in a space that loves me back. We make this burning look so heavenly, yet we are both cursed with shining too bright for our own good. But if I get the chance to become the sun, I will turn the sky into a color of forgiveness and just rest there. Because don't the eldest daughters deserve that too? I wish I could just be a woman. As much as I'm sure the sun wishes it could just be a star.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can we fix this up there? Check. Well, first of all, one more time for Esma, y'all. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Shouts out to Kinfolk, you know what I'm saying? Always being prepared.
Y'all hear me okay? Okay. We got a sound person up there in the booth. I don't know what happened, but we'll figure it out. In the meantime, shouts out to my DJ always being fucking prepared. I'm just saying, you came through in the clutch. That's all I'm saying. This clutch is heavy. All right, the score for our last poet was 27.7. 27.7. Judges, what say you about this poet, about this poem? Here we go from low to high. We got an 8.3. Then we have a 9.3, a 9.4, a 9.6, and a 9.7. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. Listen, I'm just giving them a tough time. Technical difficulties happen all the time. We're going to figure this thing out. Say word. Together as a community. All right, are you ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Y'all show some love for Kima Flight. Kima Flight, y'all. Y'all clap Kima Flight all the way up to the stage, please.
In the first term of pregnancy, a baby grows the fastest it ever will, builds new cells at rapid rates, and implants itself inside the wall of the body's womb. In its first term, America grew the fastest it ever will, built new cells at rapid rates, and implanted itself inside the wall of indigenous and African wombs. So why would they hit abort? Gave us express shipping on slaves, so this country already knows how to deliver. It expects us to do the same. America grants planned panic to unwilling bodies, because what else would you call an invasion? And what else would you call a baby? Because what's birth of a nation to the birth of a nation? This is America. They want you bearing children so they can bear arms, or be long enough to play for the Bears, bearing every field they touch down on. Trust, this country already knows how to get away with murder, whether Viola Davis or like a viola they playing us. Black History Month is in February, because what the fuck a march ever do? Why would a nation that started with 13% of its population in chains ever be pro-choice? The voice of murdered black babies rest in the pits of alligator stomachs. They stuff black fetuses in jars and call it experimenting. Still doing the same thing with our bodies. Why would they be lax on new cells like they don't have Henriettas? Why would they give a fuck about giving black bodies an option? The only one you got is giving them kids up for adoption, because profits come from keeping niggas on welfare and food stamps, because you don't stay hungry unless you keep eating. That's why they called the feds. It took a black president 4 terms times 2, and we still ain't 8. The only plan we taking is Barack or The Rock. How you thinking you cracking the system when they put crack in the system, leaving you dried out from the sons you raising? We ain't great because we got buried. How many dead black babies does it take for you to get it? Rename Lady Liberty miscarriage. The way this country loves the blood of what could have been. You terminate when they tell you to. How could abortion be legal in the same place the forced pregnancy of slave women was? This is the same breed, just a different fuck, in America does not go back on what it does. You got child support. What else would you call government assistance? Choice hasn't been given since this country's conception. What's the pain of a contraction to a white man's contract? Because you be manifest destiny every time you make a black baby, and you can't have God's plan without an unwilling body, so won't you be married? Have the baby you never planned to have. The baby that will be lynched by this country anyways, and what? You tired of carrying the American dream? Tired of seeing yourself die? Nah, that's just morning sickness. You'll get over it. We need you numb anyways, because vulnerability breeds an army, and ain't no such thing as an unwilling soldier, just one that hasn't been broken in yet. So put your body to the test, give life to death, and surrender to America's will. Thank you for your cervix.
Score for our last poet was 28.3 for our last poet. Y'all clap it up for them. All right, here we go. Judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. Here we go. From low to high. From low to high, y'all, we got an 8.7. Then we got an 8.9. We got a 9.4, a 9.7, and a 10. I'm heading to the store. When I come back, you ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Y'all show some love for your favorite verse.
I need to reintroduce myself. My name is H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes by the OC. I guess even back then you can call me CEO or the ROCO. Fresh out the frying pan near the fire. I be the music hand's #1 supplier. Fly it in a piece of paper, bear my name. Got the hottest chick in the game. Yeah, my chain.
Oh, that's how I
Similar to the letters, no one can do it better. Cheddar like the food.
My grandmother is a woman of few words. I love you isn't a big part of her vocabulary, but she is fluent in the love language of food, and she fed me a lot. She always served me full course care and concern. She documented her adoration on dishes, and every visit she fixed my favorite dishes. As soon as I walked through her front door, I could immediately smell the affection wafting in the air. She greeted me with open arms, saying, "I got all this food in here. You hungry?" And for the first time, she heard me say, "No, Grandma." I could see the heartbreak in her eyes, as if I just told her that I didn't love her anymore. And she stared at me in disbelief like a stranger standing in her kitchen. And my grandmother was fluent in the love language of food. So when she replied, "Well, Devon, you get skinnier every time I see you," it was not a compliment. It was a "whatever you've been doing to lose weight, it sure ain't healthy." And she'd be right, because depression been knocking pounds off me for months. I'm often too emotionally exhausted to eat. And my grandmother has no idea what I'm struggling with. She just knows something wrong with her grandbaby, and she believes that she can fix me by fixing me a plate and then garnishing it with a little Jesus. But there is no amount of meals or religion that can fill all my empty. And explaining to her that these things aren't enough is too heavy of a conversation for her dinner table, because in this house, we never discuss our emotions. We just eat our feelings. But I can't bring myself to tell her that I am numb to the comfort in her cooking right now. And that love only leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, and that sorrow sucks the flavor out of everything. She'd always say, "You are what you eat." Most days, that makes me nothing. I'm not hungry, but my depression is greedy. It devours my will to live. It drains my energy. My sadness swallows everything up, and the only thing I swallow are these Zoloft pills. I'm constantly in pain, so the only thing I can stomach are painkillers, and I choose to feed my illness before I even think about feeding myself. But when I do remember to eat, it's only after I get high or indulge in a liquid diet. I'm forcing the liver full of liquor to work twice as hard as my empty stomach, hoping at least one of these jars can deliver me from darkness. And my grandma keeps trying to deliver me from evil with scripture. Matthew 4:4. Man cannot live on bread alone. And it's difficult digesting anything in that book. But I take the meat and leave the bone because I know that's got to be true. I need way more than just food right now. I need therapy. I need meds that fucking work. I need to not feel so lonely. Maybe I just need a hug. I don't know. But I do know it hurts you watching me fade away. And I do know that I gotta eat to live, but eating is hard, Grandma. When suicide makes starving to death look so appetizing.
All right. That was your favorite verse. Y'all, one more time for your favorite verse. Score for our last poet was a 28. Y'all show some love for that. Out for the poets. This amazing theater that we're in is called the Robbins Family Forum. Can we show some love for the Virginia Museum of History and Culture for opening their doors to us for a second year? Really appreciate them. All right, judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. From low to high, y'all. From low to high, we got a 7.9. Then we got an 8.9. Then we got a 9.1. A 9.4 and a 9.5. Clap for the poet, clap for the poet, clap for the poet. I'll have that total score when I come back. You ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Y'all show some love for the GYEXP. Y'all clap it up for GYE, y'all. Clap them down, all the way down to the stage, y'all. All the way down to the stage. GYE, y'all clap it up for GYEXP.
Y'all coming to the cookout, right? Of course you're invited to hang on careful. The picnic is a wicked trip rooted in twisted history. My bloody back, a rosewood stain of black sap smacking against the bop down, boys. Now get that boy down here in Richmond, just like the old bay. It reeks the Jim Crow seasoning swing. Bower crabs and good old boys will picnic a carcass clean as your pops was a crop practically falling apart of this family recipe. They say I taste like my daddy. The secret ingredient written in America's signature dish, a lynching, is some fine, dining fine. I admit magnolia marinated neck bones, nipples and a quiet taste like fang prints and burnt ends followed by a shot of white lightning striking my silhouette. A buffet of scorched mahogany swinging drunk under the influence of moonshine. Arrive at the sun's down. Now you think that's strange. Fruits served in the potato salad round the sundown town. Those black Bixby are raising somebody's feet. Been in them ribs, kick into the fork saying, this brand of American picnic is cannibalism. It's dark meat grills the blackest magic. It's bloodthirsty wizards summoning grand dragons. It's fire, smoking, holy ghosts, my lord of haunting. A hooded clan of spirited hands drawn, clawing at my mama's baby's backboard. Relax, there's plenty board out back drawn. Quartered like chicken sliced, golden and crispy. Brethren, how y'all swinging? That a picnic just gnawing around the memory of my charred remains. Shh. The silent rain of Dixie burns across your plate, a hanging invitation to this orchestrated symphony, this cookout composed of tortured screams and screams, strings up my neck. When America pours in this park like buckets and sheets, you reaching for a second helping means curtains. For me, I'll say they don't even see who's been holding the rope. Now y'all hang on like African Americans weren't hung. Carved under polite conversation and barbecue, the bulging eyes burst in red glare like a noose delicacy, a stew scoop of popular opinion bending to the flaccid will of limp limbs for what is girth. This country been swallowing up USD grade A, B, B, C, hoping they would grow strong, sucking the vitality up out of their big black cousin. Y'all come back now, hey, so we can serve you, please. Let me serve you. Still coming to the cookout, right? Of course you included on the menu. Still tastes delicious.
GYE, y'all. Y'all put love for GYE. The GYEXP. All right. The score for our last poet was 27.4 for our last poet. Y'all clap it up for that. Clap it up for these poets. Working hard for you on stage here. Judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From low to high, y'all. From low to high, we got a 9.5. Then we got another 9.5. A 9.6. a 9.8, and a 9.9. Show some love for the poet. Show some love for the poem. I'm gonna have that total score when I come back. You ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. I said the score for the I said the score for the last one, right? I did, right? Yeah. What was the score for the last one? 27.4 for the last poet. Y'all clap it up for the poets. Keep that love going, keep that love going, keep that love going for Simay. Y'all clap Simay all the way up to the stage, y'all. Y'all get Simay all the way up to the stage, y'all.
Yeah. I see you good.
Simay, y'all.
I'ma kill these niggas, man. Yeah.
My mommy said that curse words was like guns, used only as a last resort, never as a first retort. They show a lack of morals or self-control, and they should never, under any circumstance, be used around children. But now, America uses guns like curse words, indiscriminately, loud and proud, like an anthem. I heard one on the playground. 2 kids wanted to swing. One decided to slide. The court wished the pump was fake, but the shot left them riding the pine. Box, check on the kids because they using them in the school. School board suggestions, shoot. Teachers use them too. Art class and ammunition. Can you guess the first thing they drew? Oh, you got the big picture. But did you ask the little baby how that gun got to you? Oh, you saw power and a little Uzi till you watched the Tommy put a ghost down. Now we got ghost guns that hit switches. That chopper hit a young boy and turned the block into a ghost town. So who got the Holy Ghost now? When we're using them in the church, where they taught us to say amen after we pray, now they are aiming after us pray. So I pray that this gun jam be a goddamn between our bodies and the blood flooding the streets because we are drowning in it. And I assure you that life's a beach. We are cattle at the slaughter, a bunch of bulls split by the piece, and the bodies give a funk. You can tell by the stink that first they stick us with guns, then they stick us in hoods, then they stick us in churches, then they stick us in schools. I got a new stick, I got a new stick, I got a new stick. Kinfolk, you ever remixed the Second Amendment in a rap song before? No, because they have censored the Sandy Hook out of our vocabulary. Debate the names of the safe guns. Like heck, ain't hell with a demon sound friendly. Like a silencer ain't loud enough to leave a school empty. Like a bullet wound ain't loud enough to censor a body. There are days when I gotta choose between my peace and my peace. But my mama said if I ain't got nothing nice to say, that's right.
Yo, I'm living in this time behind enemy lines. So I got mine, I hope ya. You from the hood, I hope ya. You R&B, hope ya.
Please don't be strapped inside this museum, please. We don't want no problems here. The score. That was Simay, y'all. Y'all clap it up for Simay, please. The score for our last poet was 28.9. Y'all show some love for that. All right, judges, what say you about this poem, about this here? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, here we go, y'all. All right, from low to high, we got an 8.9. Then we have a 9.0, a 9.5, another 9.5, and a 9.6. Show some love for the poet. Clap it up for the poet. I'll have that total score when I come back. You ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Y'all show some love for Kenneth something. Y'all show some love for Kenneth something. That's his name. His name is Kenneth something. Y'all clap Kenneth something all the way up to the stage, y'all. Oh, there they are. Kenneth something, y'all. Comprehend something.
Every rope is a community of fibers brought together to serve a purpose greater than ourselves. So when I was assembled, I wanted to be on a flagpole. I wanted to hold up a symbol of what this country stood for. My greatest fear was being a jump rope. I just thought I would get dizzy from the spinning and spinning and spinning, but I never became a jump rope. I started on a shelf in a little store when two men walked in and purchased me. They threw me in their back seat next to a beer, a shotgun, and some sheets. We drove to the middle of nowhere. I heard them say, the only good nigga is a dead nigga. When we got there, one of the men started to twist my body into a knot. Said now my name was Noose. I saw the man they was mad at. He was all black and bleeding and praying. He prayed and prayed so loud, like he was waiting for the sky to just break open for God to intervene. They put me around his neck and tied me to a tree. He kicked and cried and swung. He kicked and cried and swung. He kicked and cried and swung until nothing. There was no God there. Just us and nothing, so much nothing, but with the flies as witness, I learned how to pray proof that under the right circumstance, even a rope can be religious. It's been 9 days and I'm still praying someone will come to cut him free, even if that means cutting me in half, because this ain't what I was supposed to be. I'd rather be dead than live like this. They say God will never give you a cross that you can't carry. But I don't know if anyone knows how heavy of a cross he is. When I was assembled, I wanted to be on a flagpole. I wanted to hold up a symbol of what this country stood for. I just didn't know it would look like this.
That was Pinning something, y'all. That was Pinning something. One more time for Pinning something, please. One more time for the poet. The score for the last poet was 28. The score for the last poet was a 28. Y'all show some love for that. Fantastic job. These poets are doing an amazing job tonight. Judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From low to high. From low to high, we have a 9.1. Then we have a 9.4. A 9.4. A 9.5. And a 9.9. Show some love for the poet. Show some love for the poem. So if you have a VIP wristband, shouts out to the VIP folk. There is an after party happening at Vagabond, right? Not too far from here, down on Broad Street. Keep your wristband on. That is gonna for the VIP folk. Keep your wristband on. It is gonna get you free entry into the after party. Say word. Cool. All right, you ready for your next poet? Say yeah. Y'all show some love for Ayanna Florence. The number 4 thought poetry. Say word. Ayanna Florence, y'all.
myself to drink when I'm angry. Fun fact, angry drunks always ruin the party. And besides, being the happy drunk is so much more fun, and I'm the best kind of happy drunk there is. Shit, I'll even drink when I'm sad, when I just need a moment to forget myself, when I need my brain to become white noise in a crowded room, but I never drink when I'm angry. I'm afraid that my father will come crawling out of me like cactus, like something spent years growing thorns in the dark, that my mouth will split Red Sea wide and his words will spew a sewage from it, that my hands will become his fists. He too is the best kind of happy drunk until he isn't. And the first time that he hit me, I couldn't tell you if he'd been drinking that day. I grew up thinking I'd never seen my dad drunk, but really, I'd just never seen him sober. But the first time that he hit me, it was a Seagram's lace sucker punch to the stomach. I was 13, and my body was all beer bottle, not built for the blow. I'd never been punched before. Didn't know the air in your lungs abandoned you without warning. Didn't know it felt like dying. My mother, a statue or a corpse, didn't move a muscle while I laid there, a spillage of limbs or an empty liter, still searching for the air that had left me so alone. And I wish I could tell you he learned from his mistakes. I wish I could say that was the last time he hit me. I wish I was telling the truth when I said it was the first time he did. Because it wasn't just the first time the violence snatched the breath from my throat. And if I were to detail every time he smacked me or choked me, was an angry drunk masking as a happy one, this poem wouldn't be a poem, just a very fucking sad list to drink to. And cognitive dissonance can be the biggest catch-22. I always told myself I'd never end up in an abusive relationship, not realizing I've been trapped in one my entire life. And the first time a man outside my father threatened to hit me, it felt familiar. He was drunk and he was angry, but I was not afraid. Just rage and cactus, only frightened of my own fury, of the part of me that lives in the shadows. The man spooked at the thorns lurking behind my eyes grew silent, as if his vocal cords had tied him a noose, as if he saw how dangerous someone in survival mode really is. Because in that moment, all I saw was another angry drunk. All I saw was my father in a motherfucker. I could finally fight back, and this time I was more than ready to save myself.
Round of applause, y'all. All right. The score for our last poet was 28.3. All right, the score for our last poet. Y'all show some love for that. Judges, what say you about this poem here? And I see 1 score, 2 scores, 3 scores, 4 scores, and I see 5. All right, here we go. From low to high. From low to high, y'all, we got a 9.1. Then we got a 9.5, a 9.6, a 9.7, and a 9.8. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet, clap for the poem. I know we got some out-of-towners here, but if you're from Richmond, make some noise. If you live in Richmond, make some noise. Okay, all right. Cap City's in the building. We do a monthly poetry slam the first Sunday of the month. Somebody say first Sunday. First Sundays, we are at a Dee's Ethiopian restaurant down in Shacklebottom, which is actually happening tomorrow, right? So if you want to see some of the dope local poets come through, or if you want to try your hand at Poetry Slam, come see us on first Sunday. Say word. Fantastic. You ready for your next poet? Say yeah. Yeah. Y'all show some love for Trocon Freeman. Y'all clap Trocon Freeman all the way up to the stage, y'all. Y'all clap Trocon all the way up to the stage. There we go. Trocon, y'all. Trocon Freeman, y'all.
I'm possibly being conspicuous. My flow is ridiculous.
My mother stands 5 feet 4 inches, but in spirit, she's a 6'10" Layla Ali. Strong like Woman King, got immense power in her praying hands to death blow a generational curse, and she even survived the Liberian Civil War. But for me, what's even more intriguing is my mother's fixation with Forrest Whitaker's lazy eye. Which is cool, because like my mother, I've learned to find beauty in everything. Like my son, my middle child, Zane, he loves indoor rock climbing. He's only 6 and yet can ascend to altitudes much faster and higher than those half his age with very little to no assistance, but I'm always right there to support him. And I would think that's something to be admired, but instead I'm admonished, frowned upon by a black dad who assumed that I ain't doing my black job, all because my black son can't dribble a rock, can't body a whole team with a Steph Curry firearm. It's the assumption that black boys just gotta be shooters in order to get a fair shot. I mean, Richmond, what if Arthur Ashe focused on all the ridicule and never pursued tennis, especially back then? And look, here we are in the building of the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts and Culture, all because a man decided to choose the road less traveled, only to have the road named after him. But when I steer the conversation in that direction, I often hit a dead end, which sometimes leaves me salty, maybe a little bitter, how something can be spoken in poor taste, a taste that could never be an acquired one, the ones that taste like overcooked Dr. Umar, deep fried vernacular about who and what ain't black enough. So I figured, for this being a big year for people getting exposed and rappers and diss songs, consider this a diss poem, a response from all the black nerds and black folks whose black cards have been revoked or suspended by other black folks for very minor and hyper petty offenses. I find it highly offensive that when I know that my soul is just oozing with mocha, I'm told my coffee ain't black enough. Because I speak fluent Starbucks, because I got so much dairy in my dialect, you can smell the gentrification brewing out of my accent. As if I'm more Godwin than George Wythe. As if I'm more Michael Jackson than Michael Blackson. And to all that I say, listen, you mudasukas. A gentrified accent, bro, does not mean the culture has been gentrified from out of my soul. I'll have you know my parents were West African Liberian born, and I, right here in the U.S., which made it hard to trace the dialect of my native tongue. But never once did I lose touch with my bastard tribe. My parents' quest was to keep the culture alive, so they fed me the finest West African cuisines, the jollof rice, the tobagi, the cassava leaf, the plantains, the potato greens. We used to dance and sing to the sounds of Afrobeat so much I could feel it in my soul. So strong, it was like Liberia in my American home. Home where sometimes the cookout doesn't feel very homecoming. It feels like a home going, as if they're dead to me, as if I'm an outcast, an Andre 3000 with the flute. My people try to play me for my choice of food. They say, what kind of black man prefers asparagus over spare ribs? Well, I'm just trying to eat, to live, to be here for the next 80 cookouts. And yes, sometimes I'm not on the menu. I figure if we can't break the same bread, then we don't gotta break family ties. I figure that I'm tired of being hung on the noose of other people's opinion, especially if it be my own family tree. Because if I do that, I'll be partaking in my own lynching. And sometimes I gotta branch out and bear fruit, even if that means leaving my own blood on the leaves.
One more time for Trocon Freeman, y'all. Score for our last poet was 28.8. 28.8. Show some love for the last poet. Clap it up, y'all. All right. All right, judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. From low to high, we got an 8.8. Then we got an 8.9. Another 8.9. A 9.8. And a 10. I'll have more when I come back. You ready for your next poet? Say yeah. Yeah. Y'all show some love for Mo Flows. Y'all clap it up for Mo Flows, y'all. Clap it up for Mo Flows.
Just tell me what to do and I get it.
As a professor, I stand at podiums poised, donned in jeans, a crown of locks, and a confidence that screams, I am what my ancestors dreamed of. After class, a white colleague approaches and says, your jeans, they aren't quite professional. Casually threading the microaggression into the fabric of my existence, a subtle reminder that this genetic code can't be deciphered by the dress code of white privilege. I once found it fitting to fit into outstretched wings of American eagle, materialize my self-esteem into a button-up. Red and blue patterns on the inseam seemed appropriate to appropriate my identity within a fabric of a nation, sewn with thread pulled from the spool of my soul, perfectly crafted into loopholes by the same hands that years of experience creating a noose to hang my black ass half mask. The collar was tight, the bust was cut for a man 3/5 the man that I was, yet I thought it made me whole. So I washed that shirt, hung it proudly, basked in its glory as it flapped in the wind. I wore that shirt with pride, like a flag, without realizing how assimilated I had become, sense of belonging blemished, damn near whitewashed away, but this black runs too deep to be bleached into a colorblind spot, erasing the beauty of my African hue. The American in me sees white lights ablaze across the corner of heavens, perfectly aligned to keep the African in me in a slave state of mind. Focus on stars that have yet to take me home. The American in me sees 13 rays of sun alternating in red and white. The African in me sees a striped jumpsuit, regalia worn across the stage of life from miseducation to prison. Red represents valor for spilling rivers of indigenous blood from the veins of the diaspora. White represents purity and innocence, the tint of a picket fence that lies between a field of dreams and land cultivated green by the true nature of our reality. Blue represents justice, or just a reminder that despite black being the blueprint, it was never the intent for us to be included in the final design. The paradox of having given the skin off our backs, only to have no skin in it, simply because of our skin. So I hid under a shirt while standing up for a flag that refused to recognize that I am foundation, deeply rooted into the threads of this soil fabric, so the pool of wool over my eyes can no longer blind me from seeing me. I see a revolution yet to come full circle as I bleed the full spectrum, watercoloring history, a who's who on a color wheel, appearing too American to be African and too African to be American. So I found vibrance here on this hyphen. So there I stood, donned in prominence, and I professed to her, man, I don't need the shirt off any man's back. I'm tailor-fitting this melanin, a banner of excellence. Wave me high to my Pan-African ancestors as I represent the best that I am. Waving, unapologetically fly, shirt untucked, perfectly complementing these jeans.
That was Mo Flows, y'all. Y'all gotta look for Mo Flows. The score for our last poet was
27.6.
all right. So the score for our last poet would have been a 27.6. Can we show some love for that? However, our poets get 3 minutes with a 10-second grace period for this particular round. This poet went over. It was 359. Amazing piece, but that poet is no longer able to move forward in the competition. But can we show Trocon Freeman some love, please? Please. Fantastic work. You guys ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Oh, shoot. I got so caught up in the way to keep me accountable. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. You know what I mean? It's why you need good people around you. The scores for this poem are, judges hold the scores up so I can see them. All right, from low to high, y'all. From low to high, we got a 7.9. Then we got an 8.9, a 9.3, a 9.4, and another 9.4. Show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. You better be the next poet. Somebody say yeah. Y'all show some love for Marley Quinn. Marley Quinn. Y'all got Marley Quinn to the stage. Y'all get Marley Quinn all the way up to the stage, y'all. Marley Quinn, y'all got for Marley Quinn.
I think the medicine poisoned him. I thought it was meant to heal pain. But see, his thoughts didn't need Tylenol. His life didn't need NyQuil. I saw no pain in him. They snaked him by giving him medicinal venom. These desiccating capsules break his brainwaves, all because they wanted him on an ordinary route. But who decided that my little brother couldn't live up to society standards? I feel like I could have wrote Jack in the Beanstalk, but I'm gonna call it Jerome in the Beanstalk instead, just feeling these magic pills daily. His originality, his personality, his happiness. Yeah, make sure all of that is dead. When my mother says, "How was school today, Jerome?" I was good. I behaved like you wanted me to. I didn't run around. I didn't make a sound. See, I'm normal like everyone else. Aren't you proud? The medicine poisoned him because I missed the little dude who got the attention, started dance parties at the family reunion when he was 2. The little dude that had no deficit to rhythm and never sung the blues. The little dude that was hyper because having attention isn't what he was used to. The little dude who was just a kid, being a kid with no disorder until the doctor's order. But see, magic has a price, and the debt been paid off with my brother. Now he's treated like a bad tooth. You took the root canal to his smile. If pills heal, then why the doctors can't swallow the pill that they ruined him? Talking about they fixed him well, he was never broken. If medicine is the answer, then why does a prescription make us dependent drones? If being yourself is accepted, then why does society want us to be clones? See, I hate when he says to me, "What's wrong with me?" I'll be like, "Nothing, bro. You good. You normal like everyone else." See, I have to program him the way that he's been programmed. I have to tell enough lies so that I don't hurt him, because the truth is the only thing that will. These pills are like bullets because I swear they kill in a chronic way. He is no longer on medicine, but he is not the same. These pills are like child molesters because they fucked him at a young age, and I'm just trying to give birth by being his voice on the stage. I wish I could have Van Gogh'd his lips so no pill could have ever got inside of them. But take those doctor's lips, tape it to his ass, 2 girls, 1 cup so they can eat the shit they fed him. See, now I understand why I hate hospitals, doctor's offices, drugstores, because they have been brainwashed into thinking that medicine heals everything. But there's no antidote to the wrong diagnosis. So take these kids off this poison before it's too late.
Marley Quinn, y'all. That was Marley Quinn. All right. Now the score for our last poet was
27.6.
Score for our last poet was a 27.6. Y'all clap it up for that. Poets been out here killing it. Oh my gosh. All right. So, judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. Okay. From low to high, y'all. From low to high, we got a 7.7. That's all right, because then we got an 8.9. Then we got a 9.1, a 9.3, and then another 9.3. Clap it up for that poet, though. That amazing poet. That is the end of our first round. Y'all show some love for all these poets who will touch stage tonight. We're gonna figure out who our top 7 scorers are moving forward, and we will bring them back for our second round. So, but we're gonna have a quick little break, give you time to stretch your legs. You just saw 14 amazing performances. You can get some water, you get some drinks. The bathrooms are back upstairs, and I will see you back here in about 10 minutes. Say word? Fantastic, let's go, kinfolk. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all who's moving forward. Obviously, again, the order is random, but I'm gonna tell you the names of the people who are moving forward. Say word. All right, so y'all show some love. Again, this is not the order. I'm just letting you know who our top 7 are. Y'all show some love for Jordan Bailey, Esma, Kima Flight, the GYEXP, Simay, Kenneth something, and Ayana Florence. Y'all clap it up for those poets. Which means we're saying goodbye to a few folk. We're gonna shout them out because they did amazing work. They were out there, are very, very talented individuals. Y'all show some love for Rika Speaks, for Chev, for Brianna, your favorite Merce, Trocon Freeman, Mo Flows, and the amazing Marley Quinn. Y'all show some I wanted to be in an R&B group so bad. I had good R&B hands, you know what I mean? That's just, I knew this right here, this was Rain. You know what I'm saying? This was Love. This was She's Gone Away. You know what I mean? Come Back. I had good R&B hands. You know what I mean? Not a good R&B voice, but I had real good R&B hands. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be in the back. Just, oh, shit. That's all you needed. That's all you needed to be in the 90s group. All right. Are we ready to get this second round started? Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Almost. I can tell we're not quite ready. The lights are very bright. So let's drop them house lights down for me, please. I appreciate you. And because we took a little break, we're not gonna take a break between second and third, but we did take a little break after the first round. And so to jump back into this, we're gonna give you guys another calibration poet, right? We're gonna give you guys another calibration, a sacrificial poet, another sacrifice. So again, gotta remain unbiased all throughout the night, but not for this poet. This poet I get to introduce, and I'm very excited to hear her. She is one of your co-creators for the Food for Thought Poetry Slam. She handles the social media, handles all the logistics. She's an absolutely brilliant soul, and this here could not have happened without her. My partner in crime, my right hand. Y'all show some love for the Jasmine Bloom.
Let's go.
I've always been afraid to fly, to get on planes that could carry me to my death. That's what I equated flying to. Death. Nosedive crash to the earth. No wind beneath the wings, get a row 14 seat D trip to die. Flights made me anxious. It terrified my nervous system. It literally gave me a panic attack, and I didn't know I was having a panic attack until I was in a panic attack. They call this aerophobia, an extreme fear of flying. Anxiety so intense that it affects the quality of life, and yet here I am, strapped to seats that will carry me to my departure. The plane rolls on the runway. My heart picks up speed. I can't tell which is faster, my pulse or the plane breath quickening with each turn of the wheel. I think I may pass out, but then whoosh. The plane arches its frame to the heavens. City lights flicker then fade like lightning bugs. I am no longer concerned with what's beneath me, a bottomless dance with gravity. Slam is like flying. I never wanted to do it. I was too scared. It felt like death. To carry my baggage onto a stage, a front row seat to die. It made me anxious. It terrified my nervous system. It literally gave me a panic attack. They call this imposter syndrome. Fear of being exposed as a fraud. Anxiety so intense that it keeps me from competing, but I roll up to the mic. My heart picking up speed, breath quickening with each step. I think I may pass out, but then whoosh. I arch my chest to the heavens, spit my poem towards the sky. I'm no longer concerned with who's beneath me or beside me or behind me. Honey, I'm flying, propelled into purpose. Turbulent fears fade, won't let a decimal decimate the decibels of my voice. I roar louder than engines, pacify myself with cars and buses and trains until I realized that they could no longer carry me to my destination. I'm trying to go farther. Use language to connect to deeper parts of myself rather than lay over in the cut waiting for validation. One of my favorite poets told me the number one fear is public speaking. And the number two is death. So I'd rather lift my voice to the stratosphere than die scared to live in it. And each time I touch stage, I get to decide whether I get closer to dying or living. And maybe my first 30 will give me the same high I got when I was 30,000 miles up, make me a weightless weapon of liberation, soaring towards her next endeavor. I've always been afraid to get on planes. I was so afraid of the fall. But baby girl, what if you fly?
Oh, Jasmine Bloom, y'all. Jasmine Bloom. One more time for Jasmine Bloom. All right, judges. Still be critical. All right, think about what you've seen tonight. Put your score, hold your scores up. Don't you listen to this foolery that's happening out here, okay? But also, they got a point. They have a good point. They made a good point. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying don't listen to them. All right, y'all. From Little High, we got an 8.9. Then we have a 9.4, a 9.5, a 9.7, and a 9.7. Show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poet. Hey. We feeling good? Say word. Are you ready to get your second round started? Say word. All right, y'all, here we go. Coming up first, y'all show some love for Ayanna Florence. Clap Ayanna Florence all the way up to the stage, y'all. Let's welcome them back.
9-7. Muscle. Hot. Check it out. With no delay into
what you saying, y'all.
Tell me what your wife's
Ayanna Florence, y'all.
So before I begin, I have a quick confession to make to y'all. I have anxiety. And yeah, I know. As you can imagine, that can make being a poet extremely difficult. I spend a lot of time writing and performing, obviously, and it feels like I'm just trying to make sense of a whole bunch of shit that makes absolutely no sense, right? And I start thinking, okay, maybe I've just only ever been fluent in run-on sentences. And I get it, this is something that's diagnosed and there's always been a name for all this angst. But when I tell y'all, I literally spend all my time worrying about worrying. It's actually fucking ridiculous. And then my ADHD turns me into a bear trap. So I'm always anxious about forgetting something, but also always forgetting something. My mind discards of things it does not have the room for and calls it misplacement. It can't be left to its own devices, but it also don't play well with others. And on my worst days, all my diagnoses become a DSM-5 dodgeball team, and my anxiety is the last kid to be picked at recess, neglected, malnourished, at the bottom of my psychiatrist's list of priorities, and that stresses me the fuck out. She doesn't think that anxiety has tried to kill me before, but she'd be so wrong because death doesn't make me anxious, but dying does. Like, the only thing that's kept me from killing myself is fear of surviving it or fear of succeeding it. And I'm an extrovert, but I can't be around people without being under the influence or above the clouds. I like to get high, so being without drugs gives me anxiety. Being dependent on drugs gives me anxiety. And my doctor will not give me Xanax under any circumstances. And I get it. My addictive personality is my worst nightmare. I have nightmares that are more alive than I am, that breathe easier than I do, that smoke on my ashes while I sleep. And one time I tried to take a nap. My anxiety snatched me from the brink of death, told me I was forgetting something important, or that someone was coming to kill me, or that someone was me. I never really sleep much, and my anxiety loves that. It feeds off my lack of peace. I don't know what a safe space looks like. If I'm alone in a room, it's already dangerous. There is nowhere I can go where I am not a danger to myself. And vulnerability feels so fucking embarrassing when I can't attach a metaphor to it. Spilling the most exposed parts of myself without a poetic device to clean it up. And sometimes it's just so hard to breathe. Doing this poem makes it hard to breathe. Breathing is hard, but I do it anyways. Doing poems is hard, but I do them anyways. Living is hard, but goddamn it, y'all, I do it anyways. I do it anyways. I do it. I do.
Sounds like y'all applause, y'all. One more time, bro. Y'all applause. All right, judges. What say you? Here we go. From low to high, y'all. We got a 9. Then we have a 9.3, a 9.6, a 9.8, and a 9.9. Show some love for the poet. Show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet. I had people ask me before about how the score works, and I normally say it in the spiel, and I just got so caught up in everything that I didn't say it. So we have 5 judges, right? We drop the low score, we drop the high score, we take the 3 in the middle. Say word. So we tally those up, and so the highest score that a poet can get for their poem, for their performance, is a 30. All right, and then it goes down from there. Say word. The more you know. All right. You ready? I'm gonna have that total score when I come back. You ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Somebody else say yeah. Y'all show some love for Kima Flight. Kima Flight, y'all. Y'all clap Kima Flight all the way up to the stage, please. Keep that energy up for all these poets tonight.
I go all in all, can't understand why I last so long. I must have superpowers, rap 225,000 hours. Get it calculated, just give them right, y'all. Y'all have to give them right. And for the blast.
Real porn titles, I strongly think should be considered hate crimes. Black thug burglar fucks MILF policewoman for freedom. A little squirt for my nigger. Juicy black butt teen gets fucked by aggressive BBC thug. My black ass eyes should not have to read that Caucasity. And it's pissing me off because my family's out the house for a couple hours. So this masturbation session was supposed to be some me time. But now my clique gotta get political. And I'm picky about my shit. So why am I on page 49 of X videos still seeing titles like Big Booty Ghetto Gagger Bitch? Even in a profession where they show some holes, only white people are seen as wholesome. They be innocent, submissive Sarahs, and back from a business trip Brian's, blackness has always been turned inside out. There is an actual timeline where white women wrote on their protest signs about how much they love black dick. Makes me wonder if necrophilia is their fetish. The way they reduce blackness to a tool, even when it lays there lifeless. Stupid black bitch gets what she deserves. Dumb nigga gets put in his place. These porn titles and news headlines looking too similar. When I see a body count compilation, I can't tell if I'm watching BBC or BBC. And black women are the most vulnerable group for forced prostitution. So I wonder if ghetto gagger is just another way to say snatched from the hood in silence. Taken from the streets and trapped in a world wide web. When the site crashes, it stops the flow of sex traffic. How many times in our lives will our bondage never be a choice? And did you know there are old ass white predators going on sex tours to the Caribbean, turning underage black boys into a final destination? Because once you go black, you never go back to being a child or a person. Terry Crews talks of his sexual assault and the world just laughs. Turns his story fantasy because black can never be a victim. When a white man murders non-black worshipers in Charleston, he says it's because black men are raping white women and the barrel of his gun sounds just like Emmett Till's whistles. Sounds just like the Central Park 5 footsteps. Because when they see us, it's as animals. The next title reads, White Guy Tamed Angry Black Woman. We'll call it Jungle Fever because I'm hot. Because they didn't want to be kinky there unless you're kinky hair. When they pay per view but never pay for you, that's called being merchandise. And ebony is the most searched porn category in the nation. Yet black actors are paid way less. Porn contracts looking a lot like the 3/5 compromise. They be auctioning off our eBays. The master bait got us hooked online because that's the best place to see black bodies hung or hung. Well, a shot or in a shot, black people always ask to be seen instead of seen. My last straw was finding this very poem on a porn site. Both my phone and I are turned off at this point because a girl can't even bust a nut nowadays without racism rubbing me the wrong way.
That's Keep a Flight, y'all. Keep a Flight. The score for our last poet was 28.7. Y'all show some love for that. All right, judges. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. We got, from low to high, y'all, we got a 9.5. Then we got a 9.8, a 9.9, another 9.9, and a 10. That's just enough for the poet. I don't know if y'all are a fan of poems or porn. I don't want to know, but I'm glad about your enthusiasm. You ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Thank you, judges, for laughing at that corny ass joke. Y'all welcome back Samay to the stage. Welcome back Samay. Y'all thought Samay all the way up to the stage, y'all.
Dance with my dogs in the night time. With the trap, with the chickens like Popeye. Many changing colors like tie.
All right, y'all got Samay up to the stage. Samay, y'all.
In the kitchen, wrist kissing like it's stir fry.
So before I was old enough to watch porn, there was Pokemon. Season 1, episode 4. Ash Ketchum has a Pokemon named Metapod. He meets a fellow Metapod trainer, and after minutes of emitting male ego back and forth, they place Metapod against Metapod, and it's kind of odd. See, Metapod is this vulnerable cocoon that only knows one move: harden. Raising its defenses by toughening its skin, both trainers order both Metapod to harden until they keel over and faint. Because once a Pokemon uses all of its moves, the only thing it can do is struggle, which hurts itself more than its opponent. This episode let me know that Metapod was black. Wait, let me explain. See, Metapod was taken from freedom, placed in captivity, told to fight for mass enjoyment, made a plaything to be toyed with, a gladiator with no propensity for violence, and the only move to make: harden. Prepare for danger. Like being raised in a red Pokeball project won't enough. Poised in front of somebody that looks like me, the order, toughen up. Because when it's black against black, no matter which one of us cracks first in this mirror match, we both get bad luck because we are the ones carried to battle, but the math don't add up. They look at us like metal, hardened shell, waiting to become shrapnel. They tell us to brave our issues. Back to back to back to back, but never give us the mind to adapt. Matter of fact, Metapod evolves from Caterpie, but Caterpie learns tackle. So Metapod was stripped of its ability to fight its monsters the moment they learned it could take more punishment. So black boys have to become men before middle school because daddy lost his battle to the streets. Black boy, hardened. Losing a childhood because a village raises a child, but the hood forces them to evolve. Black boy hardened, fighting types of depression because every lesson feels like it's taught with a fist. Black boy hardened, safety becomes something learned and returned off. Black boy hardened, black boy has used too many hardened. Black boy now struggle. Future wife approaches for first kiss. Black boy struggles. Son approaches for hug. Black boy struggle. Daughter wants a daddy that's more than just present. Black boy struggle trying to distinguish anger from love. Black boy struggle. Black boy is affected by trauma. Trauma is super effective. Black boy is now confused on why he could only harden. Isn't it crazy that cocoons are supposed to harden so much that they break and let out something beautiful? But what if we harden so much, we never let the inside out?
Let's go. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Catch them as my wheels, the framing is my cause. Searching far and wide.
I was looking at who's gonna sing along. I was like, oh shit. Shouts out to all the nerds in the building, you know what I mean? The score for our last poet was 29.6. Let's show some love for that. All right, judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. From low to high, y'all, we got a 9.0. Then we got a 9.3, a 9.5, a 9.5, and a 9.7. Y'all show some love for the poet. Clap for the poet. Y'all ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Y'all show some love for Esma. Y'all welcome Esma back to the stage, please. Y'all clap Esma all the way back to the stage. While that's happening, shouts out to Slam Connection in the building who's been doing our filming this year. Shouts out to Slam Connection. Thank you for partnering with us. All right, y'all. Esma, y'all welcome Esma to the stage, y'all.
I'm about to talk, I'm bloody, saying bloody, pretty women.
Everyone wants to see something they can believe in, sink their teeth in, a sight for hungry eyes. I mean, who don't applaud the underdog, the sweat and sacrifice that makes the impossible plausible, or even better, the immigrant that turns their nightmares into American dreams. Even if that is not the story, that is the story. What sells? The oppressed Muslim girl finds her voice in the land of the free, and how brave. Now the covered girl can be a cover girl. I can do anything here, from Vogue to valedictorian. I got a spotlight, so I can speak on the people and places burning, but they're saying that's bad marketing. They're saying I'm supposed to be a view without views. It's just safety concerns. Name a prophet that's for profit. Plus, what's louder than a poster prayer? Ain't no bad religion believing in billboards. Besides, what's worship without bending, without some sort of sacrifice? Hijab ain't an image. It's a symbol, a trademark. My skin for a cosign. A model for missiles. Here's an occupation so that we can fund the occupation. Taking headshots for headshots. What's the issue? Just want to put me on the magazine. Well, empty magazines. I mean, there's barely a smoke screen between me and an M16. They send the whole country to heaven. New commercials drop like bombs do. The thing you just do. When Nike wants you, you don't forget the freedom they gave you. Inclusion means you too. You're just not next. Yes. I don't even have to swallow the bullets. Just ignore the shell casings in my gums. Being this beautiful is choking me, but I can't deny I'm making a killing. All's fair in sales and war. It's just supply and demand, costs and carcasses. Murder makes money, but a massacre makes it business, and it's me. The face of all these wet red hands. Regardless, the karma's gonna come, and I'm supposed to be grateful. Thank my God and theirs for the opportunity. I could be gorgeous, or I could just be Buddy. I watch so many of my reflections dying, and still I pose on the front page. Don't you see it? The dead Muslim girl smiling.
One more time for Ashley, y'all. All right. The score for our last poet was 28.3. Y'all show some love for that. Okay, real quick. Take this fly ass jacket off real quick. I'm in a real vulnerable place right now. Don't gas me up like that. You know what I'm saying? These fly ass t-shirts.
And that's too long, so come back home.
These fly ass t-shirts are compliments of Charged Up. Y'all show some love for Charged Up. One of our community partners, so make sure you cop a t-shirt before you go. Say word. All right. Y'all ready for your next y'all ready for your next poet? Oh shoot. Sorry, this is what happens when I talk a lot. Yeah, judges, what say you? What say you about this poem, this amazing poet? Here we go, from low to high. We have an 8.6. Then we have a 9.5, a 9.6, 9.6, and a 9.8. Show some love for the poet, please. Clap it up for the poet. I'll have that total score when I come back. Now, are you ready for your next poet? Say yeah. Yeah. I'll get it together, y'all. I'll get it together. Y'all show some love. Welcome back, Kenneth something. Kenneth something. Y'all clap Kenneth something all the way back to the stage. Please. There you go, y'all. Let's get it.
Scripture suggests the return of Jesus is near. But what if Jesus was already here? Like, what if Jesus decided to reappear as a prostitute and spent her evenings on the stroll? What if she walked past you carrying a clutch purse instead of a cross, or had a camel toe instead of a donkey? Would you notice her? Would you speak? Would you get down and wash her feet? Would you deny her of her divinity? What if Jesus had 12 children and no disciples? What if she was from next door rather than Nazareth? What if she turned her rent money into malt liquor rather than her water into wine? The first time her temple was turned into a marketplace was at the age of 9. What if Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Little John wrote a hip-hop song about her rather than a Bible verse? Would you bother to ask her name? But see, this isn't a criticism about Christians. This is 100% about Kenneth.
For the times I was too embarrassed to kiss my mother in public. The days I would pray she wouldn't come to PTAs or school plays because I was too afraid of what folks might say. The times I was too scared to care because I was ashamed of her career, ashamed of her tears, ashamed of her fears, ashamed of her crack pipes and beers. This for the days that my hands were too holy to hold her near. But how do you worship your mother while her name ain't Mary? And she ain't married or dating, looking names for all the men she's made it with. How do you stand or stomach know every trick your mother flipped to ensure her food match your mouth? You know that her knees and bows were not used for praying. See, my mother, she ain't never hang on a cross, but she's been nailed in public a few times. No, she ain't never been crucified, but I know a few crews that tried. And my gym teacher was one, so was the deacon. The few married men creeping, but I guess we're being fucked by Judas. So your daily to-do list, you become really familiar with the coin of cocks. But what if Jesus came back as my mother? What if Jesus grew a few extra scars just to prove that all our faith had flaws? What if Jesus' greatest miracle was giving her son everything he needed to live, even when she had absolutely nothing to give? And if you can worship a God that sacrificed his only son to save some sinners, then surely you can worship a sinner that sacrificed her soul to save her son.
That was kind of something, y'all. One more time for the poet. The score for our last poet was 28.7. Y'all show some love for that, 28.7. Shouts out to that poet. Judges, what say you about... I don't even know if I've seen this happen this time before. I can't recall. Listen, all right, relax, damn it. It's okay, all right? Y'all don't even know what the fucking scores are yet. Y'all all hype and anxious and shit. Take a breath. All right, take a breath. From low to high. We have a 9.9 since you know so damn much. We have the first score is a 9.9. The second score is a 9.9. Then we have a third 9.9. And the fourth 9.9. And an unprecedented fifth 9.9. Clap for the poet. Clap for the poets. Never in the history, I've been saying for a long time, I've been a part of this culture for a long time. I can't ever tell you the last time, if ever, I've ever seen 5 9.9s. Oh man, what a time. All right. I'm gonna have that total score when I come back. Let me shout out a few people real quick. Thanks for that. Now everybody's a mathematician now. I know how slang works now. Everybody's a goddamn scorekeeper. We shouted out Slam Connection. Them are our homies down 64. They came from Williamsburg, Virginia to be with us and make this happen. If you are looking for a photographer here in the 804, go to no other place than 804 Degrees. They are one of our sponsors. Shouts out to 804 Degrees. Please clap it up for them. There was a gentleman with some paintings and some artwork out there. That is Trey Arts. Y'all show some love for Trey Arts. Another artist here who had some journals and some more stuff for you is PG Artistry. Shouts out to PG Artistry. Y'all clap it up for them. I want to shout out some of our vendors real quick who's handling the food. We brought in a community sponsor, Happily Natural. Y'all show some love for Happily Natural. Black Folk Food. Y'all show some love for Black Folk Food. Sunflower Gardens. Y'all show some love for Sunflower Gardens. Stone Love Bakery. Y'all show some love for Stone Love Bakery. All right, and I'm gonna have some more announcements when I come back. Say word. All right, you ready for your next post? Say yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Y'all show some love for the GYEXP. GYEXP, y'all. Y'all clap them all the way up to the stage, please. There we go, right there. Clap it up for GYEXP.
Now, I know y'all ain't eating at them people cookout, so the question is you hungry? Here, there is always place for an extra plate. I wonder why you just skinned and deboned echo stuffed full of the emptiest of insides. I wonder when you're gonna eat. Remember, the kitchen's inside, but you hungry. For bright pot to hit dim spots when darkness finds a way to come in and ruin a day, but there is no way to rule in a day when what our grandmama baked in her macaroni and cheese be bubbling. The substance, the things we hope for now, like rice drowned in a cooked down familiar, ladled over a day when you cold craving warm conversation from that precious one. Nostalgia is a haunted spaghetti sauce stained bowl. Guilty conscience, just like an empty home, won't come clean when we miss spots. You know, the second helping of hugs we didn't get enough of. Squeeze, you feel pots sink to the brim, what you've been choking down, like the delinquent attention you pay now, like a foreclosed plate that memory lane saved. Wow. Thanks is the things you think of now, the places we bake in mouthfuls of shared smiles. Space is where you can't breathe in, you will exhale, but the weight seems heavy, chewing yesterday's mistakes. It's tough, but love is tender though. It's patient, so it's 6 silent days marinating around Jericho, such a seasoning that defenses can't stand under the pressure. Locked in good stock homes. It's locked pot, it's herb, it's garlic, it's celery, it's bean, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey, you name it. Our stomach scream louder than the laughter on my grandma Miss Juanita's porch. Snap pea fingertip remembering the conversation between the slap knees and the smoked meat crock pot collapsing all in, I bet. When you feel like falling apart, God is this pot. He got Gristle going to glory, baptized in a balm of liquid gold. From alpha to far as the eye can see, a pot's power ranges. It morphs in time. Heaven is an angel's grove. It's lip smacking deliverance. It's my mama biscuits. It's so in the beginning of gospel. We revisit Genesis just to let there be delight. Emancipate frustration in us in days we feel like cotton picking foul bones, though we know the hot stove gonna get us goodwill. Gets popped sometimes. But pain is non-stick to a cast iron spirit that gets every breath. It's the achievement of a lifetime to the live in the dish. We don't always remember to savor living the gift. We don't always remember to unwrap, like every moment present ain't already a perfect present. Here, taste a 10, dance with amazing grace until you are cold slab starving for heart. Beat, ain't no need for you to be hungry when the kitchen's inside you. Eat.
GYESP, y'all. Y'all clap it up for that poet. Come on now. All right. The score for our last poet was a 29.7 for our last poet. Clap it up for that. All right, y'all. All right. Judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. All right. From low to high, yo, we got an 8.7. Then we got a 9.7. We got a 9.8, a 9.9, and a 10. We gotta show some love for that. Clap for the poet, clap for the poem. Are you ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. All right, love that. Y'all show some love. Y'all welcome back Jordan Bailey. Jordan Bailey back to the stage. Clap, 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 clap.
In response to constantly being asked for a funny poem, here's a joke. A guy's driving on the highway 20 miles over the speed limit, right? He get caught by a state trooper. Now the trooper says, "Well, son, I've been waiting for you all day." And the guy responds, "Well, officer, I got here as quick as I could." Y'all like that? It's not mine. I learned it strictly for this poem. I am not funny on purpose. I say things, people laugh, but I understand the difference between a comedian and a joker. Here's a joke from the Joker. Two guys escape a psych ward. Now panicking, they finally make it to the roof. They trying to get across to the other roof to freedom, and one guy gets an idea. Says, "I got this flashlight, right? If I shine the light across, you'll be able to actually walk on the beam to safety." And the other guy's like, "Bro, are you nuts? You just turn the light off when I get halfway." I ain't really get that one. I learned it while I was in the psych ward, though. My roommate told it to me in between trying to scrape the white off the paint, and we learned to laugh off the things we feel are true. So I just chuckled at her. I really wish it would have worked the first time, you know? Like, who don't know how to kill themselves? My first poem was a suicide note. I'll assume it'll be my last. That's not funny. Here's a joke. My first attempt ended because the belt broke. You want to make God laugh, show him your plans, and he'll show you a broken buckle, and the joke should be a joyful one. Except now, I just get really sad anytime I put jeans on. Here's a joke. I do a poem about how I'm afraid of my own hands, about how I don't just want to die, I want to not be here to begin with. And the poet says, "Damn, can I get at least one funny poem?" The joke being, this is only for entertainment, and everybody wants to feel good. He thinks I'm excluding myself from that. Would rather me turn my funeral into a laugh factory, my cremation into a roast. Here's a joke. My teacher showed me poetry, thinking it would help me express myself. Didn't know I was so unhappy. Would rather me stay quietly, eating my own tail, than screaming about the blood in my mouth. Here's a joke. I'll put the blood there. My hands are out to get me. Here's a joke. I'm an introvert, but I'm terrified of being alone. Here's a joke. Hey, how many bipolar poets does it take to screw in the light bulb? None. The bulb is fine. It's the switch you gotta worry about. Here's the joke. Lately, death has been a patient trooper. The stage, a light bulb tightrope, a poem, a broken buckle. When I die, you can tell jokes at my service. They don't even have to be funny. Just something for my ghost to giggle at.
The score. First of all, one more time for Jordan Bailey. One more time for Jordan Bailey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The score for our last poet was 29.4 for our last poet. Y'all show some love for that. All right, judges. What say you about this poem? Here we go. From low to high, we have a 9.9. Another 9.9. A third 9.9. A 10 and a 10. Oh, had y'all on the edge of your seats. Like, not again, damn it. Do they know there's another number? Never seen people be so upset at 9.9s. You wouldn't just happen to have that score for that poet, would you? 29.8. A 29.8 for that poet. Y'all show some love for that. That concludes our second round. Y'all clap for the second round poets. Don't go too far. I'm gonna find out who our top four are. We're gonna jump right into this third round. Say word. Word. Fantastic. All right, Kim folks, let's do something. All right, y'all. We about to jump right into this third round. You ready for this third round? Say yeah. Yeah. Actually, let me see the number real quick. I just want to say who's moving forward. All right, so the round is random. Let me tell you who's moving forward. Y'all show some love for Kima Flight. Yeah. Show some love for Kenneth something. Yeah. Show some love for GYEXP. Yeah. And show some love for Jordan Bailey. Yeah. Which means we gotta say goodbye to a few folk. I need y'all to show them a whole lot of love because they're absolutely fucking brilliant. Amazing, powerful, prolific performers and writers. Show some love for Ayanna Florence. Keep that love going for Esma. And show some love for Samay. Eddie's DJ and RVA, I'm trying to tell you. All right, y'all. We ready to start this third round. This is third and final round. This is who decides who's going to take it all home. Are we ready for a third round of Poetry Slam? Look, I need lots and lots of energy from y'all. We at the tail end of this. All right, they've been giving you some of the best poetry you've ever seen in your entire life. Every single one of them, every single person that's touched this stage. So they've been giving it all to you. I need you to give it all right back. Say word. Word. So I need that applause to be high. I need that love to be shown. Say word. Word. All right, here we go. Y'all welcome back Kima Flight. Y'all welcome Kima Flight back all the way up to the stage, y'all. All the way up to the stage.
What's up, buddy? What's up, son? What's happening? Hey, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Turn this thing on out. Now let me see everybody do this.
Kima Flight, y'all. Y'all talking about Kima Flight?
Hey, let's go. Fucking finals. Do you stand? Do you get? Hey! Let's go. Okay, Queen. Fuck it up, King.
My ex-girlfriend is 5 feet, 108 pounds on a good day. But on a bad day, a man decides to make her a heavyweight. She opts to shop in the men's section. So I guess he decided that her wearing boxers makes her one too. I remember a conversation we had where she said she felt she had 3 strikes in life: being gay, having a deep voice, and masculine presenting in a Southern Christian family. They always tell her she could have been so beautiful if she had just dressed like a lady. And I wonder if they say the same thing at her casket. The man who attacked her hit her with 3 strikes. It was so hard it broke her jaw in 2 places. What I'm learning about some straight men is if you have loose lips, they'll give you the face to match. So fear becomes a way of life. And when a skull cracks and no one is around to hear it but me, Does it still give me PTSD? Body fell just like a tree. So red bones turned to redwood. Like he ain't Tim her. Tried to stomp her in the streets. Black flat against the concrete like he was conquering something. He beats her unconscious while telling her that she's not a man. Because the best way they will show you you are a woman is by seeing how much you can bleed. Hit her point blank, period. 2 years later and still no sentence. And even though we're not together, I'm so afraid of seeing her fall apart. Gays being friends with their exes ain't a lie, because we know what it's like to lay bleeding and have no one to call out to but Jesus. And ain't it funny how there ain't much of a difference between having nails in your hands and screws in your face? Doctors crucifix her jaw shut with ties. And I try to be grateful that she's still alive, even if it's through the wire. But with shocker, shock trauma, how can you be grateful that your life wasn't taken when your spirit was? When every street corner looks like shadow boxing queer women have to wear a mask instead of masculinity, because we are so afraid that our clothes will get us clotheslined. And as a femme, men trying to split me apart ain't nothing new, but still, when you see your baby's body be still, and the silence sounds just like a funeral. I know I would rather die than let that happen again. Roddy said, we die for the pussy. And it ain't no metaphor, but meant for all the different ways you gotta stay strapped. Fuck fighting hate with love, nigga, your t-shirt gonna be you on this t-shirt. If homophobia could only disappear with my hands, then let it be God's. Because I am not strong enough to carry 108 pounds on a good day. But if you catch me on a bad day, nigga, I promise you, a coffin weighs so much more.
One more topic, team of flight, y'all. So now listen, for this round, I'm gonna call it the scores so that my scorekeeper can write them down. I'm not gonna tell y'all the totals. I have the totals after we hear all four poems. Say word. All right, judges. Judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. All right, y'all, from low to high, y'all, we got a 9. Then we got a 9.8. Then we have another 9.8. Then we got a 10 and a 10. Y'all clap it up for the poet. All right, I'll have that total score at the end of the night. Say word. You ready for your next poet? Say yeah. Y'all show some love for Kenneth something. Kenneth something. Y'all show some love for Kenneth something. Y'all clap Kenneth something all the way back to the stage, y'all. There it is, Kenneth something, y'all. Y'all clap, 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 clap.
I will not die ever. This is not a metaphor. Have you ever wondered what happens when you die? The way the grass forgets a body is there. The way the world forgets it was once somewhere else. I've watched so many black bodies get put in a box, and I know that America is waiting to watch me rot in the plot too, but I decided not to. Like, who the fuck said I got to? Your gun, your government, your God, fuck a funeral. No matter how greedy the grave, I will not get in. I will smack any obituary that can't keep my name out of its mouth. I won't let anyone make a memory out of me. My older brother was stabbed to death. My younger brother was shot dead in the chest, so I know it's only a matter of time for death's hands reach for me next. But I promise, this ain't a dance the devil wants to do. These bones won't bend or break. I will beat the grim reaper the fuck up if I must. If that's what it takes to survive, to stay alive, let's face it, dying is just basic. Every black body does it, and I am too fabulous to be all dead and shit. I got better things to do, so I refuse to lose to death. This country took so much from me, but it won't get my breath. Shit, it's the only thing I got left. It's not much I even like about my flesh, but it's mine. So ain't nobody feeding this faggots, no maggots. I will be here until the earth forgets how to orbit. When I say I will not die, I mean this body will not be broken open by a bullet. These lungs will not be swallowed by an ocean. When I say I will not die, I mean you will find me attempting to twerk on the moon long after this country crumbles. When I say I will not die, I mean resiliency is a religion, and I am God here. So what is the point of mourning
Will you be the morning, be the moonlight, the Milky Way, the meteorite, which is to say, what good is a gun against a galaxy? My molecules melt music and magic and melanin and miracles and matter and matter and matter, which simply means I matter. So no matter how many diseases or devils you send for me, I will be here forever. Like goodness, like glory, like God, like God, like God.
Check. Okay. All right. That was Kenneth something, y'all. Kenneth, one more time for Kenneth, please. One more time for Kenneth. Let's clap it up. All right, y'all. All right, here we go. From low to high, y'all. From low to high, we have a 9.8. Then we have a 10, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Let's clap it up for the poet. Let's clap it up for the poet. Oh, man. Here we go. I'm going to have that total score at the end of the night. Whatever, I'm required to say it. Okay, all right. You ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Fantastic. Y'all show some love for Jordan Bailey. Y'all clap Jordan Bailey all the way back to the stage.
Cut it. Them bricks are way too high, you need to cut it. Your price is way too high, you need to cut it.
I love like poem and ratchet music.
Cut it.
Jordan Bailey, y'all clap it up for Jordan Bailey. Clap.
Way too high, you need to cut it.
You got it, my man. On the stage.
I'ma sing a song. I'ma sing a song so sweet and so soul stirring. I'ma sugar the tea and spot the punch bowl. I'ma sing something for y'all to swing to. Something to shake the spider's web. I'ma sing a slave smile, constellation across the sky. I'ma sing something for the steppers. I'ma sing something for Martin to march to. I'ma sing Sam back to the stage. I'ma sing It's Been a Long Bang. The song shot. It's a song sung in sorrow now, never my intention. I wanted to sing something for us, just us. I wanted to sing us safe in the span of a song. I wanted to sing them saints back into just somebody's son. Bang, sunshine. Now his mama gonna ask me to sing him a funeral. Well, yes, ma'am. I'm gonna sing him a showcase to send him home. I'm gonna sing him short-lived ancestor. I'm gonna sing him famous. I'm gonna sing him so famous. I'm famous. And I'm gonna sing till the song stop making Skrilla. Now I sing whatever they tell me to sing. And they say sing. They say sing a song. They say they want a song sung and a sun shot. They say they want 100 shots in. They say they want a young dolphin drowning in his own samples. The story goes. It's all the same for us rappers. We either sing a song about freedom or we be the new slaves. We either sing our niggas back to life or we sing them new graves. I'm gonna sing to make a killing. I'm gonna sing like I can't be killed, like death can't reach me this high. Ooh, I'm gonna sing a song for the white folks to sing, because they love my song. Love a black bird that ain't gonna fly away from them. And the song, ooh, the song so fly, y'all. It can change the way it sound mid-flight. At one point, it was a prayer. Then it was that there North Star. Then it was a crack rock.
then it was a chain, then it was a chain, but now the song got zeros attached, and I'ma sing myself that safety net. I'ma sing me satisfied with all this holy I done made for myself. I'ma sing a song till I forget why I was singing in the first place.
Jordan Bailey, y'all. One more time for Jordan Bailey. So the after party is going down at Vagabond. The poets are going to be there. You have a VIP wristband. Don't take it off. Don't take it off if you're coming through the after party at Vagabond. That's what's going to get you in. All right. Make sure you have your lanyard, poets. Make sure you have your lanyard, judges. If you're coming through the after party, make sure you have your lanyard. If you have a VIP wristband, make sure you keep that wristband on. Say word. And then we will see you. We will see you at Vagabond. All right, y'all. Judges, what say you about this poem? Here we go. From low to high, y'all, we got an 8.9. Then we have a 9.5, a 9.7, a 9.9, and a 9.9. Show some love for that poet. Clap for that poet. Clap for that poem. All right, you ready for your next poet? Somebody say yeah. Let's welcome back the GYEXP. GYEXP. Y'all clap for these poets. Y'all clap them all the way up to the stage. Give them all that energy. GYEXP, y'all.
Will you wait for me, my evergreen? I know it's just as hard in heaven. My father called me Whistle because I couldn't, and then he just gonna laugh. I love you sounded like 1. Daddy! 2. Daddy, loving you was smooth as hugging sand paper. Hoping that your embrace of nature would fade and our embrace move 2. Loving you hurt 3. Your word was God. Like let there be 3. Grandma say God and love the same 3. Dad, I guard you, but I wish you were more like love. 4. Abusive breath smack, blasphemous. 4. Neighbors Helen Keller now say they can't see or hear help me, but I know they felt me and my mama screaming 4 years fast. Swallowing fear with my esophagus on the way down to upsetting my stomach. 5. Choking down truth and thrown up hands are both signs of surrender. 5. You learn to apologize for everything. I'm sorry. No, I don't think anything is funny. I've just been too afraid to stop smearing these perfect scars over my smiles until the Joker chuckled and trendy as my dad jokes. The punchlines just crack me up to pieces. And stitches in the ER routinely ask, so how you get them scars? Don't worry, I'm only gonna answer them this smile. Fetch 7. Sit. Boy, don't remember learning to walk, but I always recall the sounds of eggshells cracking up around my paw. Cousins crack me up, calling you a father figure. Daddy ain't what you figure a father figure feel like. Hey, mommy, you divorced to running away, so is it okay if I'm gone before the street lights come on? 9. Time 9 is God's time. Is understanding that my daddy was a little boy with a little boy who was never able to be 1-0. Everybody always forgets about the 0, the whole entire hole that I expected to pour into me, meaning my father who had ever only been filled with empty. Father, forgive me, I knew not. I got a suggestion. How about we exchange forgiveness this Christmas? As soon as I started searching for your presence, how dare you die? I got a new calendar for all those times I went back counting past hurts. Now I just want to love you harder than your past hurt, but it hurts just like a broken whistle, hoping that my daddy can finally hear me. Like sometimes it hurts so bad it don't come out, but I'ma sing a song too. Will you wait for me. My hair will green, but it's just as hard.
GYEXP, y'all. GYEXP. Let's show this love. First of all, 10 is spelled T-E-N. It is. All right. For somebody who taught English, it is spelled T-E-N. All right. I just want to be very clear about that. There are no letters on the scoreboards. All right. All right, y'all. Just wait a second. All right. All right, y'all. From low to high. From low to high. We got a 9.4. Then we have a 9.7. Then we have a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Y'all clap it up for the poets. Clap it up for all the poets who have touched stage tonight. We are about to find out who won this thing. Over $2,000 in cash prizes. These poets have come from all across the country to be here with you right here in Richmond, Virginia. Can we show some love for that? All right. I'm going to go ahead and confer with my team real quick. I'm going to be back in just a second. Let's give them something real quick, Campo. Let's go.
That's my kinfolk, DJ kinfolk.
Get more ready. Try it one more time. Give them one more time. One more time. I know I love me a good body roll song.
I'm in the moment.
Come on now.
Let's take quick, yeah. Let's talk about on me, little phone sex, baby, on the high line.
When you body roll, you gotta make that face. You gotta make the ugly face when you do it. You can't be smiling about it. That looks weird. All right, you can't be like. You can't do that. That's weird. You gotta look angry. It's not that kind of show. Yeah, listen, you know what I mean? Times is tough. Listen, this is what I got to do. Come on now. You can follow me on all social media at Roscoe Burnhams, IG, Facebook, Twitter, OnlyFans, Pornhub, all that. You can find me on Roscoe Burnhams, just across the board, all across the board. All right, it's cool. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. We had a good time, say word. We had a good time. Y'all wonder who won this thing, huh? Y'all wonder who won this thing? I got some news for you. Here we go. We're gonna start coming in at fourth tonight. All right, putting up some very amazing, some very vulnerable work. Y'all show some love for the Jordan Bailey. So here's where it gets a little interesting. We got a bit of a tie. Tied, both with a 29.6 for this round. Y'all show some love for GYEXP and Kima Flight. We're gonna handle this in just a second because we have a first, a second, and a third place prize, right? So we gotta see who's gonna be taking that third place spot. So we're gonna handle that in just a second. But that means that your fourth annual Food for Thought Poetry Slam winner with a perfect 30 in this round is none other than Kenneth Something. Y'all show some love for that. Let's go, Kenneth.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Say something to the people.
This love, everybody!
I just want to say that for me, this was nothing other than a showcase of some of the best poetry that America has to offer. And I am so thankful to share the stage with every poet that touched the stage tonight. And again, this is all about celebrating. For those who do not know, I took like a 5-year hiatus, and tonight, I'm back! If anybody wants to, I'll just loud as shit. If anybody wants to follow me, my Instagram is Kenneth Poetry. Kenneth Poetry. Just follow me. I follow back. Let's build. Thank y'all so much. Can we please clap it up for Roscoe for this amazing ass event? Thank you. This fed my soul, and I appreciate you so much. All right.